YouTube? We here at MAST Motorsports. It's Dyno Day. Let's walk in and check out the location, see what they got going on, explain some of the different things that they have, and let's see what we can do with this motor.
Our castings come in. You know, they come through this door and they kind of make their way around the room. There's 5 CNC machines here, and each cylinder head touches each machine as far as to get fully done. I don't know that I have any raw castings that I can show you.
Okay.
But I have something that's probably close.
So my biggest thing is like trying to understand it as a 5-year-old, because I know nothing about.
So like this one here has been through one step of the 5-step process.
Okay.
Right? So it got that initial surfacing, but it'll eventually, like I said, it'll make its way around, and there are some where you can see some of the stages. So like this one.
And how long do they spend on,
So
say, like this machine?
Total between the 5 machines, you're looking at close to 8 hours.
Damn.
You know,
Right.
it might cost money,
Right.
right?
The differences that you're going to get out of something like this, why it costs so much more over a stock head, you know, stuff like that.
Well, right. I mean, in my opinion, the 2 primary differences are quality of the casting. We'll call them offshore castings.
Yeah. Yeah.
They're inferior aluminum,
Right.
particularly compared to what we want to use.
Of course.
So, for a long time, we used 356. We've actually stepped up our game to 357.
Okay.
And whereas the competitors' castings, a lot of those are actually 355.
Right.
And I'm not a metallurgist, but long story short, you know, it's different grades. The 357 is a better grade than the 356.
Okay.
So, I mean, we've talked to our cylinder heads under extreme conditions. You know, they don't drop seats, they don't crack, they don't do some of the things we're seeing out of other castings.
Right. Okay.
So that's one of the big advantages.
Exactly.
And then, you know, the amount of time it really takes to take a raw casting and go through all the steps. You know, honestly, I feel like if you look at our product, the finish on it's usually nicer, and I think that the finish is a result of better materials and better tool paths. And it's a little more time-consuming tool path.
Right.
To ultimately make it a better casting.
And doing the homework to get above and above.
Right. We've been doing it for a long time, and we figured out a lot of stuff.
Those are beautiful.
So these are actually these are welded up. They have no water. So that's what you're seeing here. That's where the water jackets were welded up. So then we run on an alcohol deal. So and now these are our Moses. This is our top of the line.
Top of the line.
Screen,
Yeah.
You know, drag race.
So what's the set of these go for?
About $5,000. And then you have to use all the stuff that's specific.
Right.
it has its own intake manifold. It has its own exhaust flange.
So that's a billet one up front.
Correct.
Okay.
But by the time you're all said and done, on average, you're probably close to 10K just in the top
Just
end.
on top end. Yeah.
But you know, this is also a cylinder head design that has been, you know, sub 4 seconds in the 8. You know? We've got customers making 1,000 plus naturally aspirated.
Yeah.
We've got guys that are making right at 3,000 under boost. I have a little small block. It's pretty impressive.
Are these finished sets?
Nope.
Nope.
So these still have the ends on them. So that's how they're bolted down. Now, these are going to be closer to a finished set.
Okay.
Because the ends have been cut off, the name's been put on, but they still need to go to South Street, our other location, and have the valve jobs done, the guides home, you know, all the finite details.
Okay. But it's crazy to see this is where you end up versus where we started at on the other one.
Right.
Of course, some good recycling.
Well, we produce a lot of aluminum.
Right.
So these are some of the Moses. These have the copper beryllium seats, but it's interesting to see how much material is there before it's machined out. Kind of wild. So that machine there has a different style fixture to hold stuff.
Yeah.
So it would go through like a bolt hole, or head bolt hole to hold it in place. And this is the one that'll cut the ends off and put the name on and some of the finished detailing.
Right.
This side is more of the, this is more geared towards our engine building. It's where we have our line homes and boring bar and the crank balancer. This is where all your engine machining goes on.
Okay, okay.
And of course, warehousing things that are next in line to get worked on. We do a lot of these sleeve blocks.
Yeah.
And so down here on this CNC machine, that's what we do is we'll bore the old liners out. We'll put in your darten sleeve. We'll bring it over here. This is our shaker table. It de-stresses it after the new sleeves are pressed in. So we're having to use what the industry likes to call seasoned blocks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is coarse.
Of course.
But that's okay.
All right.
And we're starting to figure out that there's differences in the cores as far as which ones work well for this and which ones don't.
Right. What's worth the time and what ain't worth the time.
Yeah, so I mean we've ruined a couple as a result. But I mean that's trial and error. That's what we do, right?
Can't make an omelet without a few broken eggs.
But yeah, these are all blocks waiting for in process.
Okay.
That one belongs to me.
How many would you say y'all put together a year?
I mean, to be honest, we're not a huge volume when it comes to engines. Our biggest volume is more in the parts side of things.
Okay.
We do a few hundred a year.
Okay. Okay.
So we're not General Motors knocking out.
Right.
You know, but.
And this is pretty much once you get your you
so,
buy your motor.
Right. So after it comes off the dyno, it'll come over here and it'll get dressed out, get ready to ship.
Okay.
And whatever options you've added or whatever goes on, and we try to ship them out essentially dressed as much as possible. So even though you may pull the harness back off, we go ahead and put it in, plug it in.
Yep.
And just make sure it's all there, and that way you kind of have an idea of where things should be too.
Yep.
Because you unplugged it.
Right.
Personally, I do better putting stuff together if I took it apart.
Exactly.
You know,
exactly.
So, kind of the same thing.
Give you a little bit of a footprint.
Yeah.
This one here is beautiful.
Yeah.
Is this the 427?
Yeah.
I hate they stopped making that intake for the LS3.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, it didn't make any power.
That's what it kind of was just like, all right, it's a waste of time, but I like the look of it.
I don't disagree. You know, I mean, it is a nice looking piece. You know, I don't know if you got to see it, but we do have a prototype manifold in here.
No.
Okay, you can see it.
Nice. So that's what I was going to ask too. With these, do y'all make those here? Or
This is the LT2 manifold off the C8 Corvette.
Okay.
And they're typically run with the throttle body at the rear of the engine, but they will turn around. This one is one of the ones that we do the machining on to convert it over to port injection.
Okay. Okay.
So we go in here and we CNC all that, have these bungs put in, and then put all the injectors in it and make it a port injected deal.
Okay.
And it also makes it easier by eliminating the lift pump at the back. It makes it easier for the manifold to
Perfect.
turn around.
Okay. Okay.
And performance-wise, there's not much that we've seen that betters that manifold
Right.
on the combinations we've put together.
Okay.
And so it's relatively inexpensive. That manifold with injectors and fuel rails is $699.
That's not bad at all.
I mean, when you look at some
That's
of
what I say. When you,
the other
we were just talking about that.
that are $1,000 bare,
Yeah.
you know, we'll send you one fully dressed for $699.
Yeah. I just noticed the difference in like the cage type setup. This 1,000 horsepower one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I saw that video. I could watch that 10 times over.
Yeah. Yeah. The Godzilla is a very impressive engine.
It's huge too, man.
Yeah, it's got a little bit, but I mean, it's sitting beside a LT,
Right.
right? With it's got a supercharger on it, but I mean, it's not a whole lot different.
Right.
And in contrast, if you're a Ford guy and you had your heart set on a Coyote, but you couldn't figure out how to get it to fit,
Right.
the Godzilla is 6 inches narrower. So I mean, you have a higher probability of getting it into something you want to drive.
So I didn't know that.
That it was smaller.
Yep. That
Yeah.
it was narrow.
Yeah. So, right, because it's a 2-valve like a LS or
Mhm.
LT cam and block, so you don't have the huge cylinder head
Right.
coming all the way out here, getting into shock towers and all that other stuff. So, I think that's part of the reason people are excited about it. Architecture that they're familiar with. Right?
Yep.
If you're a 390 FE guy, well, I know the cam goes in the middle and it has 2 valves and rocker arms. The overhead cam stuff and all the chains, I know that's intimidating to a lot of people.
Yep.
And then, like I said, because the Coyote is a super mean engine,
Yeah.
but particularly with a little boost.
Right.
But like I said, they limit you on where they can fit, and so that's why we've really embraced the Godzilla. We feel that it opens up a bunch of guys that their only option was to LS swap their Ford.
Right.
Well,
Who wants to do that?
Yeah.
Who wants to do that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not putting a Ford engine in my Chevy, so
Not at all.
I can understand, why you wouldn't want to do it. But as they say on MTV Cribs, this is where the magic happens.
Yes.
So this is the engine build room.
Sterile.
Yeah. Except for sticker kit over here. So these are all in process, getting ready for the dyno in one capacity or another. With supply chain concerns, it may put a damper on getting some stuff done.
Yeah.
On the same time frame that we're wanting, but
This is pretty set up.
yeah, that's going into a 66 Chevy 2.
Yeah.
So we wanted a little bit of a more traditional flavor to it.
Right.
Manifold I was talking about
Oh, is this the
back here.
yeah? I was mad I missed it at MPMC.
That's what's interesting. Didn't have the rails in it.
I was trying to picture my head around is like how you put the rails in.
Yeah, they've got it all pulled apart. So that's the rails.
Okay.
But yeah, you remove the lid. The rails all sit in here with your injectors. You have these jumpers that go out to your harness. But, when it's all said and done, I mean, it makes a nice looking piece. I'm curious. I haven't got to see it on the engine.
That's what I was gonna say.
I've been in the gaps over here.
I've been wondering how it's gonna look actually sitting on top of a motor.
We just received this yesterday.
Yeah.
So we haven't had the opportunity to try it.
Play with
I
it.
wanna put it
The
in
new
there.
toy. Hey, let's do it. Let's do it.
It's going in Regal.
Yep. It's going in my 85. So we dropped it off at the paint shop. We're doing just about close to frame off. So all the motors go through this process, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, we done every one unless they just don't want it done.
Right.
Which is usually just a short block or a long block. Usually we go through a break-in cycle. I'll go ahead and go through the break-in cycle just because it'll get temp into a sweep from usually 2,000 RPMs to 3,000.
How long have you been doing this?
I've been with the company about 10 years. I've been doing this probably 5.
Okay, okay.
Kind of torque it's gonna make with the LS3 Intake and the performance design. Be interesting to see both.
That's gonna be if it's gonna sell me or not.
Right.
Cause I like the look of it. Second pull. Okay. Oh yeah. That's crazy. 1 degree?
Yeah.
1 degree of timing.
1 degree and took it a little higher than RPM.
So, you did the first run on the Holley intake. Now about to go to the LS3. See what numbers he puts down, if there's any difference. I'm about to see what numbers do with the stock intake. Okay. Nice base run. Damn. Okay.
Picked up a little bit, I'd say that's about it. I didn't pick up a bunch. So. Let's see.
Yeah, it's about his peak.
Compared to the last one, they picked up that in 1 degree. It ain't terrible. They liked it, I'd say.
Damn, that's beautiful. You know you're in good hands when the tech is an old school guy. But that wrap up today at MAST, man. I appreciate y'all hanging along. I know it was long and a lot of education, but end number ended up being 566. What we got on the motor. So I'm pretty happy with that, man. And can't wait to let y'all see what it is like in the car. Check back in with y'all later.